Yesterday, this caller went on a near 2-minute rant without taking a breath in defense of Prince Harry needing security and saying that it is wicked what the government is doing and that Charles and royal family are heartless. All right, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, I'll be putting screenshot, by the way.
What do you think? Well, he's turned his back, he's stepped away from his royal duties on his own.
No, definitely not. I think it's really wicked what the government's doing. And it's not just what's happening to Harry, but it's everything else. You know, it's the royal family, it's the government with Suella and Braverman. You know, Harry is British. He's a British citizen. He's a member of the royal family. He's not asking for it free. He's saying, I want to pay for it. I just want to keep my family safe. So this is another thing they're doing. This is to keep him away. You know, like the previous caller said, he's turned his back on the family. You know, he's done this, he's done that. And I think this is out of spite because he didn't turn his back on his family. He said, I want it to be, you know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He didn't ask to give up, but because he wanted to say, I don't want to be a full-time member of the royal family, they just said, well, you can't have it both ways, you're out. I don't think he chose to come out of it. And now he is being punished. You know, for getting married and for wanting to live abroad. You know, what's gonna happen to him is the same thing that's happened to his mom. I think what this government is showing is that they're heartless, cold, inhumane. And if you're living abroad and you're reading everything that's going on in this country today, you're going to think these people don't have no heart. The previous caller said, oh, we love him. No, you don't. If you love him, you want to look after him, no matter what especially his dad. You know, if your son go away and he wants to come back, you're going to embrace him. But what the king is doing is showing how cold-hearted they are.
All right,
you know,
Gina, I'm going to pause you there because Chris is going to...
She makes sense because Harry did not really want to do that. Okay, to leave. He wanted to do something. I mean, they stir unnecessary thing onto Harry, where eventually Harry had to say, I have to go, because they were bothering Harry to the point where the plan was for Harry to divorce. Okay, Harry did not want a divorce, so Harry tried to work with the royal family. Okay, where he said, you know, half in and half out. They said no, so they're blaming Meghan for almost every single thing. Okay, so at some point where it gets to the point where it's affecting Meghan mentally, so Harry wants to protect his wife, so he said half in, half out. They said no. So what the hell was he supposed to do? He stepped out. So now that he stepped out, if they had left them alone, that's fine. But the thing is that they continue. What is it? They come up with this unnecessary thing where Harry and Meghan did not say privacy and all of that. Remember Piers Morgan, if you want privacy, go back to America. She did not.
Piers, if you want to be private, go back to America and live privately. It's pretty straightforward.
None of them said they wanted privacy.
So it's about boundaries and it's about respect. They've created a false narrative. I've never talked about privacy.
None of them said they wanted privacy.
The decision that I have made for my wife and I to step back is not one I made lightly. It was so many months of talks after so many years of challenges. And I know I haven't always gotten it right, but as far as this goes, there really was no other option. What I want to make clear is we're not walking away, and we certainly aren't walking away from you. Our hope was to continue serving the Queen, the Commonwealth and my military associations, but without public funding. Unfortunately, that wasn't possible. I've accepted this, knowing that it doesn't change who I am or how committed I am. But I hope that helps you understand what it had come to, that I would step my family back from all I have ever known, to take a step forward into what I hope can be a more peaceful life.
Okay? Harry said the reason why he was leaving is because he tried to work with the royal family. The royal family did not want to work with him, so he left. So you would have think this is where everything would have stopped, right? Harry does his thing, he's overseas, he's doing his thing, but yet they follow him, literally go at his front door. When you look at the docuseries where they blur out the face of the stranger coming in front of their door, what was he supposed to do? I mean, my goodness. And then you have that incident that happened in the city, and then I didn't share that, but they're making fun of it, that, oh, maybe Meghan should not go to what is it, or either Meghan or Harry should not be going to award ceremony. What the hell? Okay, this is why I say election very important, because these people have a hand on certain things. In one video, I remember saying that they never left the United States. They were still trying. I don't know where their fingers is in somewhere here, but they have their hand in some stuff. Okay, election matters. There's something that I put on my community board where, let me not even mention. If you saw it, you saw it, about certain politician, someone overseas who's putting target on people who's investigating Trump and all of that. All right, so all of this play a role. All right, let's continue.
Explode.
I'm not going to explode, you know. I'm not going to explode. But what is missing from this conversation is there is no magic money tree, as far as we know, in the grounds of Buckingham Palace or the Home Office. They haven't got the resource to afford this. Yes, you can pay for police protection in this country. We mentioned earlier football grounds and that kind of thing, but there aren't enough qualified specialist protection people to look after Harry when he deigns to come and see us from his home.
Nah, that's just excuse, okay? This is just excuses, because this is the king. He's telling people, you cannot write books about my mother, okay? His mother. Okay, you're telling people not to do certain things. You mean he doesn't have a say on that? And let's keep in mind as well, in some of my old videos, and occasionally I mention it on random videos, where some of those people who are part of Ravik and all of that, these are handpicked people from Charles. Okay, so Charles handpicked those people of Ravik. Technically, okay, Charles is running Ravik. Okay. Because one of those people who is part of Ravik, I don't know, I think there's some changes that just happened this week. They removed that Edward Young and all of that. Okay, that Edward Young, I read one article where the Charles and Andrew placed them to replace one of the Queen's people, because he was much easier to deal with, which is he's able to do whatever Charles wants. Okay, so Ravik is pretty much run by Charles. Those people who are placed on those positions, they do what Charles says. Okay, they're not independently maneuvered, self-governed, or anything like that. Charles is running that, but those people are just figurehead over there. Okay, so if Charles did care, he would have done what needs to be done. And let's not forget the fact that what I've said before, Charles never cared about Diana.
He clearly didn't want to be there. And it's easy to sit here now and say that's the fact. But when you were watching it, you know, it's like you could see his mum's boot print on the back of his jacket.
Are you in love? Lovely little question. Very typical question to ask people who just got engaged.
And I suppose in love.
Of course.
Whatever in love means.
Yes.
Which means those boys, Harry and and William, he have no feeling for them. So in order for them, I think they have a plan. Okay, they have a plan for these Diana's kids to be eliminated. William may think he's okay, but right now they only accept them because, I don't know if they do accept them, if there's some end fight going on, I don't know. But it's Harry who's preventing him. As much as William may not notice that, but the fight that Harry is giving the palace right now, and this, in a sense, it's protecting William, because if they had got rid of Harry already.
TMZ Live, Harvey Levin here.
Charles here.
So Meghan and Harry had quite the night. It started out very glamorous with a lot of acclaim. Meghan got an award and it was a very glitzy event. We'll get into that in a minute. But the headline turns out not to be what happened at the event, it's what happened after.
Right. As their spokesperson describes it, and as we have confirmed with independent sources, that there was a harrowing, in fact, they say near catastrophic 2-hour chase around New York City, paparazzi chasing them. And it all started right here. This is around 10 p.m. as they left the Ziegfeld Theater and they got into their SUV. Well, what happened once they got in that SUV is a chase that at times got up to speeds of 80 miles per hour.
It's protecting William, because if they had got rid of Harry already.
And I know you may be thinking, where in New York City are you going to drive 80 miles per hour?
That would be the FDR.
The FDR Drive on the east side of Manhattan. They were doing 80, trying to shake photographers who were chasing them.
And they were right on their tail.
Yeah, and they had, this was not just Harry and Meghan in their single SUV. They actually had an entourage that, it's clear that they anticipated some of this.
Clearly, they were in an SUV. There were 2 security SUVs that were tailing them, and then there was a 4th SUV that eventually was used to try and block traffic to thwart the paparazzi that were following them.
Right.
It's protecting William, because if they had got rid of Harry already.
Now, they say that pedestrians were almost hit, cars were almost hit, a couple of police officers almost
were involved,
hit.
right?
So I know this sounds crazy, but we have confirmed, like Charles said, that this really did last 2 hours. So there were times when they went to various police stations trying to get some help, or
trying to shake the paparazzi. So the video we're about to show you, this is them almost an hour and a half after leaving the theater. They've been in this chase. They've been on the FDR going 80 miles per hour. And now they've gone back to a police precinct, and they get into a yellow cab. They get out of their SUV. They get into a yellow cab.
And it's to shake the paparazzi. They're figuring nobody would think they'd get in the yellow cab, so they get in at the police station and drive away, and they're thinking we're going to shake the paparazzi.
But
that did not
clearly,
happen.
you can see the paparazzi knew they were there. That's their security guard who gets out of the front seat and is trying to get the photographers to back up.
You can see the thinking behind getting in a yellow cab. It might blend in more with all of the other yellow cabs in New York City, so they could sort of make a hasty retreat and lose the paps, but it didn't work at all. And this does sound absolutely harrowing. People driving the wrong way, apparently cars getting up on sidewalks. And for Harry, this has to be traumatizing, because his mother was killed during a pap chase in Paris in 1997 when he was just 12 years old. Because his mother was killed during a pap chase in Paris in 1997 when he was just 12 years old.
It's protecting William, because if they had got rid of Harry already.
Because his mother was killed during a pap chase in Paris in 1997 when he was just 12 years old. So all those memories had to come flooding back when he's in the car.
So this cab that left that police station kind of circled, apparently, and then came back, I don't know, 15 minutes later.
10, 15 minutes later, goes back to the precinct. They get out of the cab.
And got back in the SUV that they were in originally, because I'm guessing here they didn't want the cab driver to
be
try and well, also they don't know how good of a driver he is.
Yeah. And by the way, the cab driver himself might have been like, I don't want any part of this. I didn't know that there was a chase going on.
Right.
So they
came back to the precinct, got in an SUV, and this lasted until midnight.
It's protecting William, because if they had got rid of Harry already.
I know a lot of people have kind of suggested or wondered, why didn't they just go to the place where they were going to stay? Well, the answer we got was they didn't want bedlam at that place. They were staying at a friend's house.
Right, staying at a friend's house, private residence, and they had the photographers following them at that point. They just didn't want to bring all of that chaos to their friend. And so they made the decision to drive around until it all died down. And
so their people issued this statement.
Last night, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Ms. Ragland, because Meghan's mom was there, were involved in a near catastrophic car chase at the hands of a ring of highly aggressive paparazzi. This relentless pursuit, lasting over 2 hours, resulted in multiple near collisions involving other drivers on the road, pedestrians.
Their next step would be going toward William, okay? Because I think that woman, I have absolutely no clue. This is my humble opinion. In one video, I said they probably want to replace, Camilla's son to be the next heir. All right. So in order to do that, those two needs to be out of here. And then the other kids, William's kids, it's easy because they're minor. They could deal with them very quickly. All right. So they can't really get to William yet because they're still trying to eliminate Harry. And this is why they divide the brothers. But the UK is very heartless, and thank God some people are speaking out and let people know how unfair this thing is. They doing to Harry. I mean, that gang over there, it's unbelievable. Okay, why the joke, this line, man? Oh, did I finish listening to him? Let's see.
On Montecito, California. So until he commits to being here, or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future, he's not going to get this police cab. Until he commits to being here, or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future.
Sometimes I'm selfish, get jealous, I feel a little helpless. My whole world has shifted again. You made a promise, I kept it. Now I'm second guessing. My whole world has shifted again.
What it means is that a senior figure in the royal household, according to Mail on Sunday, was passing him information in order to help defeat the Duchess's case.
Until he commits to being here, or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future, he's not going to get this police cab. Until he commits to being here, or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future, he's not going to get this police cab.
If you want to be private, go back to America and live privately. Pretty straightforward.
You heard from anyone in the palace thanking you for the, serious defense of them?
Until he commits to being here, or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future, he's not going to get this police cab.
I've had some messages communicated to me on behalf of several members of the royal family.
Upper level
We're very
people?
grateful that... Well, I'm not going to go into who it was, but what I would say is gratitude that somebody was standing up for them.
Until he commits to being here, or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future, he's not going to get this police cab.
But there were many serious, credible threats against Meghan, were there, emanating from the far right?
Absolutely. If you'd seen the stuff that was written and you were receiving it, the kind of rhetoric that's online, if you don't know what I know, you would feel under threat all of the time.
So you were convinced that there was a genuine threat to Meghan's life on on more than one occasion, on several occasions?
We had teams investigating it. People have been prosecuted for those.
Until he commits to being here, or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future, he's not going to get this police cab. He's not going to get this police cab.
One other thing that I've learned is that whilst this bullying claim was submitted by their then chief communications officer, the head of comms at Kensington Palace, the staff involved didn't know that it had been submitted, and when they found out, they asked for it to be rescinded. So we've got quite a difficult story here about a bullying complaint.
It's what happened after.
Right, as their spokesperson describes it, and as we have confirmed with independent sources, that there was a harrowing, in fact, they say near catastrophic 2-hour chase around New York City, paparazzi chasing them, and it all started right here. This is around 10 p.m. as they left the Ziegfeld Theater.
Until he commits to being here, or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future, he's not going to get this police cab. Until he commits to being here, or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future, he's not going to get this police cab.
What's going on between you and Charles? And I just want to move it. And she said to me, very interesting, she said to me, you've got everything you've ever wanted. All the men in the world fall in love with you. You've got 2 beautiful children, what more would you want? And I didn't believe what she said anyway. So I said, I want my husband.
Until he commits to being here, or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future, he's not going to get this police cap.
I understood the assignment.
Until he commits to being here, or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future.
It's been the hardest, some cigarettes somewhere and a beer, that's about it really.
Or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future.
How about you, Harry? He'd probably sit in and play computer games and drink beer.
Or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future. Or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future. Or maybe rejoins the royal family, which many would hope he might do at some point in the future. He's not going to get this police cap.
He even claims Prince William will soon be a guest at his home, the home he has crudely named Maison de Bang Bang. Maison de Bang Bang.
Nah. Because he tried to work with them from the get-go. The thing is that the idea that they had for him to fail, to crawl back, but he's successful with it. Now they're making his life a living hell. God, you need to step in and do what you need to do to make this right.
I'm just scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me.
Okay, why the joke this line, man? No magic money tree. I endorse everything this lady said. The royal family needs Harry, but without Meghan, as they realize that, she will outshine the whole lot of them. That's for sure. But there was a magic tree for the Jubilee. Yep. The Queen's funeral and the coronation was not necessary, okay? But there is a magic money tree to pay for Andrew's security. And now they're going to drum the he must come back clear abuser tactic. There's the rolling eye. Harry showed them better than he could tell them when he bounced at the end of that clown show church service. Yep, that's for sure. I'm telling you, I think I hit the nail on the head with that video where after the service I put that horn.
A couple other countries were reuniting today, which I can't wait for. I miss him so much. No, I think for us it's just been a really special trip because
I really like falling.
they're waiting for Harry, and I put that clip where Meghan was in South Africa. You're like, oh my God, I miss him so much. And then next thing, phew, Harry flew out of there. Yeah, the smile that Harry had during that time, was it the coronation? That pisses them off. That pisses them off. They want to see him mad, upset, and all of that. So maybe he should just give them what they want in terms of face expression. Show that he's mad, he's angry, so they don't. Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because they will still see. Maybe they were like, oh, we should get him more angry. I don't know. These people are crazy. They're crazy over there. Alright, Harry showed them better than he could tell them when he bounced at the end of that clown show church service. He's not coming back. Okay, preach. Okay, hoping that he'll come back. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. And I hope before that happened, where the people start screaming and get those royal family out of there. Okay, that's the burn fire. They finally admitted that until Harry returns to the royal family, he's not going to get protection. They are trying to force Harry back as their scapegoat, all while still using him and Meghan as their scapegoats. LOL. That last guy says there are no resources if Harry wants to pay, but magically there will be resources if Harry agrees to join back in. They are so confused and full of lies. I mean, they just exposing themselves. Okay, just exposing themselves. Money miraculously appeared for the Jubilee, the funeral, and the coronation, and there was plenty of money for Camilla's and Kate's security before they ever joined the royal family officially. Also, this is gaslighting because Harry wants to pay for his own security. There it is. Harry is proving his case right for everybody to see. Okay, they think by withholding his security will bring him back. I have no doubt in my bone that Harry will not leave his family, go and stay in the UK to appease a father who is so cruel, cold, heartless, who has sold his son and grandkids to the vultures. William, who felt Harry should not shine. Okay, so they're doing this so he can come back. What an evil bunch they are. There they are. Okay, exposing themselves. Harry is finally free as a bird in the sky. Why should he return to a toxic atmosphere? And he financially dependent on his father and brother. Okay, he's financially dependent on his father and brother. Every one of us knows that Harry has always wanted to leave the UK, and now he has his own family that he wants to protect. Exactly this. They're punishing him for stepping out of the role they cast him in. He was born to do the nonsense. I really truly think they were the one who was drugging him. Okay, because that brother, keep on saying in some other interviews back in the days, he'll be drinking and smoking and do this and all of that. I truly believe they were the one who was putting him in that mindset, that state of mind. Drug them so he doesn't have, the proper mindset, so they could manipulate him. My goodness, these people are evil. I mean, this is my assumption because the brother keep on saying it, and we saw the state that Harry used to be in. Meanwhile, the poor guy was trying to better himself, but they were keep on pulling him in. I truly believe, Meghan was sent by God to get him out of there. Okay, exactly this. They're punishing him for stepping out of the role they cast him in. Supposed to serve the monarchy. They don't want him to have a life outside of serving the monarchy. They never prepare him for life outside of serving them. Okay, they have just showed their hand until Harry come back, not Meghan. No protection. Like all abusers, they want control. Yep, there it is. There it is. Alright, there's no magic money tree in the royal family, but William and Kate have 5 houses. Okay, there it is. They're just showing themselves. They don't even know. They're digging their own hole. They think they're digging for Harry, but it's for themselves. Next tweet.